Welcome, I'm your host Raven Geeks, and today we are going to assign the alignments of players from the Ubers team. We will only be covering the players we see frequently on this team, as it would be kind of pointless to cover players who have literally no expanded personality outside of just being a player on the pitch. I hope you all are ready, because we are jumping right into the content of this video, kicking things off with Don Lorenzo. We all know that Lorenzo is like the Mr. Krabs of Blue Lock. His primary value of others is their strengths and how much they're worth. He only acknowledges players on the opposing team based on their bidding value attached to them, as we see in the manga when dribbling past players a bastard. However, he is definitely a team player, whose team strongly trust in his abilities as a defender who can sweep up the ball from the opponent's feet when his opponents have broken through their team's defensive lines. Don Lorenzo will be put between the chaotic good and chaotic neutral slots. This is not just based on his physical appearance, I swear. I doubt he would even care much for other people unless it was for his own team, but even then, he still has his own selfish motives. Shuto Sendo, former striker for the Japan U20 team, he has not had too many opportunities in the spotlight, besides that recent goal he got against Manchester City. He had such a strong connection with his teammates on Japan U20, and felt insulted that his position as an ace striker was questioned. Passionate, assertive, and somewhat annoying, this character is fit for the lawful neutral slot. Him believing he has a mission to carry out, and I am sure he believes that he's a vital asset to every team, just makes this more justified for him to go here. Are you the second best player in the second selection, who's doing quite well for himself on the bidding charts? Everything this man wants to do, he wants to do with style, and the manga and anime make that very fucking clear when introducing him. He's open to admitting when someone is just as glam as him, if not even more glam than him, like how we saw with him and Chigiri in terms of their interaction for the first ever time. He plays as the Ubers centre back, retrieving and intercepting the ball in high or out of reach places, so he's clearly reliable, all things considered. Altogether, this man's ego really comes down to his own glam. He is open to giving compliments to opponents and his own teammates without issue, so I'll definitely put him in the neutral good spot, as his actions act out for the best intention for those around him when in the game. Up next is Nico, first being displayed as confident in his way of reading the field in his match against Isagi and the rest of Team Z in the first selection. Now, he uses his spatial awareness to support Blue Lock as a defender during the U20 match, and even as a defender for the Ubers. Defense formations is what the Ubers are known best for, and Nico is an amazing support for this type of strategy. He's not demonstrated as arrogant, and he actually shows appreciation to individuals who share the same capabilities as him, as demonstrated with Isagi. Additionally to that, he's also adaptive as well, as showcased upon losing to Team Z and then carrying himself to be the top scorer and by extension the lone survivor of his team in the first selection. Factoring all of this in, I believe Nico can go in between lawful good and neutral good, as Nico is just a less impulsive and defiant Isagi, as his team works very well together. Okay, pause. Before I continue, I want you guys to understand how limited these teams are in terms of players that I can speak on. Ubers, for example, only has 6 players that are worth talking about, because the others either had no time to dedicate to their personalities or how they act, or they're already boring as fuck. Hopefully you all can understand that I'm only going to talk about the characters who are actually worth talking about in these videos, but anyway, let's continue forward. Oliver IQ. It's gonna come at no surprise where this man may end up on the chart, but I'll do the pleasure of looking into his main personality traits to really cement this opinion. Whilst yes, IQ has shown to be a bit of a selfish individual, making a bet against Sei involving testing his team to prove their strength in the U20 match, alongside doing this purely out of his own desires, and then he was shown the errors of his ways for thinking that Japan U20 was strong as they were at the time. But besides that, of course, this man is a good person. He's the captain of his team, a defender who aims to be the best in his position that he plays, and the peacemaker of his team as well. He shows respect to Blue Lock multiple times, and even individuals like Isagi, who he finds to be truly amazing and the future of football. His one bad trait as well. Overall though, the community loves this man, the fans of the manga love this man, and he's a very well respected individual, so I'll gladly put him in lawful good. Finally, we end off this video with Baro, and I feel like we should have some fun discussing this man's character. We know this man is arrogant as fuck. I would say his ego is actually the strongest in the series. He openly refuses to accommodate for individuals unless it involves him scoring. The only time he played a supporting role willingly was for a solid few minutes at most, and by the end of it he went back to his selfish ways, and he addressed himself as the king on multiple occasions. Like, this is a running thing in the entire series. The man is the king. His time in the Ubers has him refusing to accept any sort of help from anyone, even regarding their philosophies for football. Even Mark Snuffy, who wants Barrow to become his successor as king of the Ubers. This man's ego is so strong that one of the best players in the world has to accommodate for him and his way of playing. The definition of chaotic evil is as follows: tends to have no respect for rules, other people's lives, or anything but their own desires, which are typically selfish and cruel. They set a high value on personal freedom, but do not have much regard for the lives or freedom of other people. How can you tell me that isn't just Barrow? He isn't an evil character. This is just his philosophy with football. So yeah, he's definitely going in chaotic evil. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and all people in between, is the chart for the Ubers. Studying character personalities is a lot of fun, and I'm glad my previous video got so much support. I was nervous of it because it seems like a quite niche topic to be appealing to fans, but now I know there is an audience who enjoys these kinds of videos, so expect more to come. I'm definitely going to cover every other team in the Neo-Egoist League, and I may even cover the Masters in the Neo-Egoist League in their own separate video. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and all the support recently, it means a lot. And until next time, peace.